Welcome to the Dr. Remina Panjwani Show, where we're optimizing wellness together. I am your host, Dr. Remina. Many people struggle with intimacy and self-love, both of which are essential for meaningful connections and a fulfilling holistic life. Today's episode dives deep into what that entails. I'm joined by my friend Marie Wagner from Alberta, Canada, whose journey from modeling to exploring world religions and spiritual traditions has shaped her passion for healing. After a transformative Kundalini activation in 2012, Marie dedicated herself to helping others heal from sexual trauma and body shame. Through her mission to foster humanity through expansive sex and love, she specializes in coaching clients to release shame, build love, and cultivate healthy sexual relationships with integrity and vulnerability. Let's dive in. Welcome for another wonderful episode. Today, I have my lovely friend, Marie Wagner. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so excited to dive into this much needed conversation around intimacy and everything that you do. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us who you are and how you got here?
Oh, wow, Remina. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me on the show. I really love what you're doing in the world, and I'm so grateful to be here. First of all, I just need to express that to you. And yeah, my name is Marie Wagner. I am a love and sexual energy coach, and I'm a modern day tantrika. And I am so happy to be here today because love is, as you know, the most important thing in the world. And sex is also so important in terms of health. And I'm here to talk a little bit more about sexual health and what that looks like, a little bit about my story and what I do and Tantra, and like there's so many things. I don't know what we're going to get covered today. I'm so excited. And so sexual health, I really, really believe through my own experience and from what I know, sexual health is just as important as physical health, as emotional health, as mental health, as spiritual health. And I think that sexual health is not, it's not seen as important in today's world. And it actually should be. And that's part of my mission in the world, is to really, really emphasize how important sexual health is and how much sexual health can help us in terms of our lives, not only in our sexuality, but using sexual energy to ignite everything that we do in the world. And so how great is that?
Definitely. And I think what's important is sexual health, especially for women. We live in a world that it's just focused on men all the time, right? I mean, there's so many, if you look at the pharmaceutical companies too, right? It's always focusing on men. But sexual health goes deeper than just like the physical act, but it's, like you said, all of these fancy terms that we're going to dive into, Tantra, Kundalini, everything, right? Like, what does that mean? And what is its energy? And it is part of health. So how does one get on this journey? How did you find that this was your calling?
Okay. Well, it's a long story, but I'm going to
And a little background too, I'm going to interject. So Marie and I met, we just immediately hit it off. We were at Richard Dolan's intimate event in Las Vegas several months ago. Gosh, the time is blending together. But we really got to talk about what lights us up, what our calling is, and break free. And of course, you know, he really is an expert on getting you on the stage and things that are important out. And so we did that. We practiced being on stage and, you know, to have more omnipresence, to be a legend, as he puts it. So a little bit of context of, I got to see her at that point, but it took her a while to get to that point. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And I've actually been a sex, love, and relationship coach since I went to school with Layla Martin's school, coaching school, back in 2018. But I've actually been in the closet about it for a few years because of my own, shyness and my own issues around talking about sexuality, especially in a small town where I live part-time with my partner and just more conservative professions and such. It was basically when I met you with Richard Dolan, like I came out of the closet on the stage talking about coaching. So it was just like a classic moment in my life, like just so powerful and impactful moment in my life for me. Like that literally broke me open. And here I am today. I'm so happy to be really stepping into my calling, which is, why do I think sexual energy and sexual health is so important? And part of this is my own story. So, let's rewind back to 2011. And so I'm a massage therapist I have more than 25 years in hands-on work, body work. So massage therapy, and then also energy work called Body Talk. And I ended up in 2011 doing a sexuality course. That's a part of the life sciences and Body Talk. And it was for my own personal development. And it took me years to feel ready to do this sexuality course. It was non-mandatory, but I just knew that, like, the Body Talkers called it the naked course. And I was so terrified. I was like, I want to do it. I had this deep desire within me to do it, but I was so scared. It took me years to even feel ready to do the course. And I was told by people that did it that it was really powerful and really powerful. So finally, it was my birthday, August 24th, 2011. I am literally in my birthday suit doing this free fall course. And it was one of the most challenging things that I ever did. But it broke me through. My message that I got from myself was that I am a sexual being. And I was in my 40s at the time. And I thought, they said, wait for 6 months. Like, this is really powerful. The course is really powerful, but it takes your body mind about 6 months to integrate. So I'm like, okay. So 6 months went by. It was the beginning of 2012. And Remina, I thought I was dying. Like, this was really intense. And this doesn't happen to everybody. Let me just say, like, if you do sexuality work or sexuality courses or coaching, this isn't going to happen to everyone, but this was my experience. So I want to share it with you. And this talks a little bit about Kundalini, because it was what it ended up being, was a Kundalini activation that happened as my whole body mind integrated the concept that I am a sexual being. All my life I had negated it. I didn't think it was important. I was spiritual, but my spirituality always negated the physical body or bypassed the physical body, let alone sexuality, like my sexual nature. So I never focused on my sexuality, and to really have that filter through my whole body, mind, and spirit activated something in me that I had never experienced before. And I thought I was dying. What happened was my muscles all started twitching, like, relentlessly. And it was happening 24/7. I was filled with this energy. Now I know it was Kundalini energy, but I had, I didn't know what to do with all this energy. I dropped 20 pounds. Like, within weeks, I just dropped all this weight. And I actually drove myself to emergency. I was so freaked out, Remina. I was so scared. And my partner was out of town at the time. And I just said, I need to see a doctor. So I went to Emerge, and he said, okay, we'll do blood work. We'll do tests. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm like, there's something neurological going on in my system. I'm really always interested in science. And and scientific basis for things. So I thought it was something neurological. And so he sent me for an MRI. He referred me to a neurologist. I went through conventional medicine, and it took me months, but they basically concluded my brain was okay. There was nothing pathological that they could see. And the neurologist, she just said, it's an unknown cause. I don't think it's a big deal, she said. So, but meantime, I had all this, it was
You're
still
like, what do
going
I
on.
do? My muscles are twitching all the time. It's happening.
It was really interfering with my life. It was the first thing I noticed when I woke up in the morning and the last thing I sensed when I was going to bed at night. And I had heard about Kundalini. I had seen it in Body Talk, but it was different, what that I saw on people on the massage table or on the treatment tables. For me, it was just much more subtle. And I did see a practitioner in Kundalini, and he said, yes, this is Kundalini. It's not major, but it'll start to die down after a while. And it did. It took a couple years, and now it just kind of ebbs and flows. It comes and goes. But Remina, what it made me see was that my body was just as important as, my spirit, as my mind, as my brain, as my emotions. I needed to see that I was a sexual being and my body was key. So that's where I started my tantric journey.